A beautiful time in the world of sport, talking about the international window which resumes this week with a series of countries that will be in action later this week, talking about Nigeria, Ghana and Mali. And in the All-African Games ongoing in Ghana, it is the time for athletics and day 2, and a lot of things to talk about, especially from the angle of Team Nigeria. Let's also forget the world of wrestling, the championships ongoing in Egypt. Lots of exciting things to talk about today on the show. Welcome to In the Game. I am Favor Itoa. All right, now we'll begin, of course, with our top 5 stories making headlines in the world of sport. But don't forget, you can be part of the conversation via our social media platform, X, of course, formerly known as Twitter, and not forgetting Facebook and, of course, YouTube. You can get to also follow and be part of the show. Let's move straight now to our top stories making headlines in the world of sport. Interestingly, we have one story, of course, which broke out just yesterday on social media. It has to do with the jersey that will be worn by the Nigerian Super Eagles. And we hear that, of course, Nigerian Super Eagles kit provider Nike has released the home and away kits for the African vice champions. Now, the Nike Nigeria 2024 home and away jerseys are available to buy from Thursday, the 21st of March, 2024. Now, the Nike Nigeria 2024 home football shirt is predominantly white with green and red detailing. Now, the most unusual feature of the Nike Nigeria 2024 home shirt is that it have used the words Naija on the front of the shirt instead of the Nigerian football crest. Now, it is quite weird to some that Nike uses a square collar for the Nike Nigerian 2024 home jersey. Now, it combines the Nigeria 2024 home football shirt with white socks, white and, of course, white shorts. Interesting times ahead for Nigerian football. And, one thing that is particular about, introducing new jerseys for different countries is the fact that some sections of fans and supporters would give a thumbs up to the new innovation, while some would say we don't like this particular one. And one of the things that has got a lot talking is about the name Nigeria, and then having to write it as Niger. And some would say we're in a generation of filled with youth, and maybe that would be what the producer would be able to identify with the public. But of course, we'll wait to see what happens, and we hear that they might be wearing that jersey in their friendly game against Ghana and Mali in Morocco. Away from there now to our next top story. This time around, the British government is planning to establish an independent football regulator to oversee the sport and encourage financial stability via a bill introduced in Parliament on Tuesday. Now, the regulator will be independent of government and football authorities with the power to fine clubs up to 10% of their turnover for non-compliance with financial regulations, the government said, of course, in a press release. The legislation will strengthen tests of the suitability of those running clubs and will also block closed-shop competitions, such as the frequently proposed European Super League. Now, clubs will also be obliged to consult fans over matters such as strategic direction and anything that impacts their heritage. The government announcement comes after the Premier League last week failed to agree a new financial settlement with the English Football League, which runs the professional game in lower tiers. The government had warned the Premier League in February that it needed to reach an agreement for a new deal or have one, as of course, imposed on it. Okay, an independent regulator to be introduced, of course, by the British government. One thing is key about the UK is the fact that football in England is key to the economy of England. And the reason why, when you look at the COVID-19 pandemic and the effect on the economy of the UK, it also had to do with the Premier League. Reason they also had to put in measures to ensure that football returned without fans. I mean, at the moment, there's been power tussles, issues of who should have monopoly over, finances and different things that's happened in the last few days. And now they're saying, okay, we'll have a regulator independent to also ensure that we can actually find clubs when they go against the financial rules in football in England. All right, away from there now to our next top story, where Sweden's Christopher Olsen, hospitalized last month with a rare brain illness that has left him without motor or verbal skills, has left hospital for a rehab center, according to his Danish club on Monday. The 28-year-old midfielder fell unconscious in his home on February 20th and was admitted to Aarhus University Hospital, where he was placed on a ventilator. Now, tests showed he had suffered several small blood clots in the brain due to an extremely rare inflammation of the blood vessels in the brain. The statement said, and I quote, "It was still too early to give a definitive prognosis." And hailing, of course, from Nopkin on Sweden's east coast, Olsen made his competitive debut for Arsenal in 2013 and has since played for Danish side Midland and AIK in Sweden, then Krasnodar and Anderlecht before rejoining Midland permanently last summer after a loan spell. We can only, of course, wish him quick recovery, and it's not what you would want to wish on anybody at all when it comes to the human life. And we can only hope to see that he comes back to doing what he knows how to do best, which is, of course, playing football. And now to our next top story, this time the North African region, where the Royal Moroccan Football Federation will inaugurate a football museum on Thursday aimed at reflecting the federation's commitment to football development. Now, inauguration will be held at the Mohammed VI Football Complex in Mamora near Rabat. Now, the FRMF said that he would hold a meeting at its headquarters on the 21st of March at 3:30 p.m. before inaugurating the National Football Museum, which is located at the same venue. According to the Federation, the museum includes a permanent exhibition space of 1,350 square meters, a temporary exhibition space of 310 square meters, and an exhibition hall with 42 chairs, a VIP room, a documentation room, and other facilities. The museum is mainly based on the research aspect, as it will include a research center which is intended to scrutinize the past of national football with all its documents, photos, trophies, badges, jerseys, and of course to preserve them and present them to the public. To draw the attention of youth, the museum will also be equipped with new technologies. Of course, in addition, the museum will also provide, people of all ages, notably the younger generation, the chance to learn about the accomplishments of Moroccan football players in the past. Now, of course, this project is also the result of the National Foundation of Museums of the Kingdom of Morocco and the FRMF, which of course signed a partnership agreement in March 2022 for the creation and management of National Football Museum. I mean, big one, fantastic innovation, fantastic idea from the Moroccan Football Federation. This is one thing that a lot of persons will want to identify with, knowing fully well that for those that are not born in the past, maybe of course in the 90s, in the 80s, and the 70s, they can get to go to the museum and see what has happened over time when it comes to the football in Morocco, and of course be able to also understand how much of importance the Moroccan football is to the country and how it has also come all the way. And Morocco is doing a lot in the world of football, from their facilities to their structures to their footballing structure also. And also we've also seen that in the last few days, FIFA has also said that in the next coming years they will be the host of the Under-17 FIFA Women's World Cup. That's to show you how well they have come when it comes to the world of football. And to wrap up our top 5 stories, let's go now straight to the world of tennis, where Britain's Emma Raducanu has withdrawn from the Miami Open on the eve of a first-round match due to a lower back injury, multiple news, of course, said on Monday. The former U.S. Open champion missed most of last season after having surgeries on her ankle and both wrists. The 21-year-old was looking to build on her performance at Indian Wells, where she played well but lost in the 3rd round to world number 2 Aina Sabalenka last week. Raducanu received the white card into the main draw at the Miami. All right, that wraps it up on our top 5 stories. We go on a quick break, and when we come back, we have more for you in the world of sport. Welcome back. You're still watching In the Game and Favor Itua. We now go straight to the world of wrestling, the African Wrestling Championships. I mean, it was, of course, Festival of Gold for Team Nigerian wrestlers in Egypt, as, of course, they raked 4 gold medals at the ongoing championship. Now, Olympic silver medalist and Commonwealth champion Blessing Obododudu beat Osman Badran of Egypt 12-2 superiority decision to win her 14th African crown. Now, returning to the competition after she had skipped last year's championships, Oduayo Adekuroye outclassed Chiama Awusisi of Egypt by pinfall to win her 8th African title and earn her 10,000 points. Now, a win that ensures that Adekuroye tops the 57-kilogram rankings. Now, these athletes left the African Games after dominating in Accra, Ghana. We are pegged back a bit because, of course, issues of funding. But thank God, it came, quite in time for them to make the trip to Egypt, and they have also paid off with, medals from the wrestling freestyle. Now, of course, joining us to talk about the exploit of a Team Nigerian wrestler is the ex-media officer of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation. Emeka Dena joins us this morning all the way from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Good morning to you. Welcome to In the Game.
Good afternoon from Port Harcourt. Good afternoon. It's good to be in the game. I think this is my second time on the show. I'm pleased to be here.
All right. Yes, of course. Thank you very much for joining. I mean, when it comes to the world of wrestling, or when it comes to the world of sports in Nigeria, we have limited federations that we are hopeful of a very good performance. And one of them is the Nigerian Wrestling Federation. Once again, our athletes were fantastic in Egypt. Take us through what happened and how much of smiles the athletes have brought to us right here in Nigeria.
Well, it was expected, Trevor. You follow the African Games. The wrestlers started first, through the 9th and the 11th of this month. In the office categories for the women, they won all the medals available, and somehow there was no players that didn't make it to the championships in Egypt. There's long five of them in respective categories, won 4 gold medals and a silver medal. So that's continuing today. For sure that they have even gotten more gold. 3 more gold medals are coming from the ladies in the last year. So
all right, Emeka Dena, can you hear me?
Well, over the years, that.
All right.
Let's not
Emeka Dena? Okay, I think we're struggling with your connectivity, and of course, that was, of course, an interesting discussion there, but would hope to get you back on the show to tell us more about the Nigerian wrestlers. I mean, they're doing fantastically well. We also have some of them who are yet to compete and will be in action later today when it comes to the world of wrestling, the likes of Mercy Genesis, the likes of debutant Ashton Adeyemi Mutua, among others, and they will take to the mat today. The president of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation, Daniel Igali, who also doubles as the Commissioner of Sport by Bayelsa State, is doing a lot to ensure that the wrestlers, battle their way all around, and also some of them will use this to gain promotions or gain qualifications to the Olympics. Some of them will also use this particular event to prepare themselves ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Now, that's Blessing Obododudu when it comes to the world of wrestling. She's a veteran, 14 medals to her titles to her name. Not also forgetting Tolulope Ogunsoya still coming up the ladder. And also a veteran, Oduayo Folashade Adekuroye, also doing a lot in that category. Omolayo Kolawole also doing well in that one. And it's just been fantastic for the ladies, especially. I remember in 2018 at the African Wrestling Championships in Port Harcourt 2018, it was also a clean sweep for the Nigerian women wrestlers. And once again, they are also doing the nation proud. And we're hoping to see how it goes for them and how they prepare well ahead of the African Games. All right, let's get back to Emeka Dena. Emeka Dena, if you can hear me, can you respond, please?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Favor. I can hear you.
All right. You were talking about, each of the athletes and what they have done, in their careers and how they have been able to get to this particular field. Please go on.
Yes, of course. They very good. You have followed the rest of lucky people in both. Before them, they have examiners as far as wrestling is concerned. For the past 12 years, when they didn't know the contingent,
Wow. All right. It's not been, quite good when it comes to the connectivity right there. We hope that maybe in the coming subsequent time on the show, we get to have Emeka Dena back. I mean, it's been a roller coaster of issues in network in the last few days when it comes to connectivity, not just here in Nigeria, of course, in Africa at large. We hope that we'll have good discussion. But kudos to the Nigerian wrestlers, and we hope to hear more, of course, exciting news from them. Away from there now to the world of athletics. Let's quickly tell you that athletics event has started. It started on Monday, and we've had series of athletes who have really done a lot when it comes to the world of Nigerian athletes. From the 4x400 mixed team, of course, they really turned up at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, running an initial games record to qualify for the final on Tuesday. Now, the quartet of Emmanuel Ojeli, Patience Okon George, Samson Nathaniel and Omalara. She also, of course, ensured that they got the batting right to post a season best of 3 minutes 15.23 seconds. Now, away from there, Comfort James. She is through to the 800-meter women's final. That's talking about Comfort James. She also did well in our category as she progressed, ensuring that she won that particular heat to make sure she come out with a season best of 2 minutes 5.11 seconds. Running the heat 3. James came in the 4th and was not enough, of course, for her to make the maiden international final. Right. Away from there, Consider and Kanem is really making a strong case and push for the podium in the men's 100-meter. And after winning the semi-final heat to qualify for the final at the African Games, of course, we know that Ekanem has been doing a lot. He was clear winner in heat 2 of the men's 100-meter semis, beating Ghana's Barnabas Agye to win in a time of 10.37 seconds. Interesting one for Consider Ekanem. We hope he can consider Nigerians to win gold for the country. All right, away from Consider, we also have interesting one from Justina Eyakobenya, of course, from Edo State. We are Nigeria will be, of course, she will be a star, and she's already running, showing glimpses of it, running her first individual senior race at a major championship for Nigeria, and she was on a bike running at either side of Ghana's Alutie Hall and Botswana's Saone Sebele, holding her to win the race in a time of 11.61 seconds. Away from there, we have Chidi. They call him Chidi the Bang Bang. Nigeria's Chidi Okezie only arrived in Ghana last night, and today, or on Monday, he was, of course, out on the track competing in the men's 400-meter heats. Now, Okezie was the second fastest overall in the men's 400-meter. In the men's 400-meter, posting the season's best of 45.89 seconds to win heat 2 and booking his place in the semi-final. They say what a man can do, a woman can do even more. And it was the case of Nigeria's Esther Okon, of course. And this particular race for Esther, she thought that the whistle or the gun has been blown or been shot for her to come back or for the athletes to return back to the track. But Esther Okon still kept on moving. She had a slow start in the 400-meter women's heat. And at the end of the day, she went all the way to ensure that she got an automatic qualification into the semifinals. Will go down on Tuesday. And for a Nigerian born outside of Nigeria who decided to compete for Nigeria, talking about Brittany Adeniola Ogumoku, she's through to the semifinals of women's 400-meter, going through after finishing 10th in heat 1 and booking an automatic spot in that particular race. And that's the kind of start she would want to have for a Nigerian career. There is more to come in the next coming months and the next coming years. So it was, of course, a beautiful start for Nigerian athletes as they're looking forward to defend their title when it comes to the world of athletics at the African Games. Now, let's take a look at today's activities when it comes to athletics at the African Games. We'll be having a series of activities. One of them is ongoing, and that's, of course, the likes of decathlon, not forgetting decathlon discus, men's triple jump qualification, Group A. And later this evening, we'll get to see the likes of, the women's high jump, women's 100-meter hurdles round 1 heat, men's shot put final, women's pole vault final, men's 400-meter semi-final heat, women's triple jump final, women's 100-meter final, women's hammer throw final. These, of course, are a series of events that will go down today when it comes to the world of athletics. And interestingly, for the men's 100-meter, women's 100-meter, we'll get to see interesting final list, later today. But of course, these are the activities to expect till evening, even though we hear that it rained this morning in Accra, Ghana, and it also delayed the start of activities in different sports. But of course, it was, of course, a blessing for them after they have complained about the series of heat waves rocking the city of Accra. Let's quickly take a look at the 100-meter and women's meter final list at the African Games, where we have the women's category. We have the likes of Gina Bass Bitaye. She has a time of 11.37 seconds on your screen. Olajide Olayinka of Nigeria. And we have, of course, Natacha Ngoye, 11.48 seconds. Claudia Nia Rasa of 11.59 seconds. She has that time. Justina also spoke about her. Her time was not, of course, as fantastic as others, but she will be looking to improve it in the finals. 11.61 seconds. Mary Wake of Ghana, she has 11.64 seconds. And Saone Sibele, Botswana, 11.65 seconds. And Maya Mikoi, 11.65 seconds. The finalists of women's 100 meter. We have two Nigerians, and we hope that they can come in first and second in that one. Let's now go straight to the men's category. We have the likes of Emmanuel Eseme, 10.23 seconds. Usherishe Shekiri, one of Nigeria's hopes of the medal when it comes to athletics, 10.29 seconds. Fantastic time. The second fastest overall. Consider Ekanem, 10.37 seconds. Benjamin Azamati of Ghana, 10.41 seconds. Agri Barnabas, 10.42 seconds. Kamara Ibrahima, 10.45 seconds of Gambia. And we have Gilbert Hanusa of 10.46 seconds. And Bibi Gary Noah Jerel, 10.47 seconds. So we have two Nigerians also in the men's 100 meters at the moment. All right. We wish them success and wish them well. Still talking the African Games, let's take a look at how Nigeria has fared in different sports. Now we have different sports that has produced medals for Nigeria. And interestingly, weightlifting is there up the ladder. Not also forgetting wrestling. Yes, weightlifting has 16 gold, 10 silver, and 6 bronze medal. Wrestling has 6, 3 silver, and 2 bronze medal. Arm wrestling, first making his debut at the tournament, 4 gold, 2 silver, and 7 bronze medal. Badminton, 1 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze medal. Table tennis was just all about silver and bronze. Cycling, silver and bronze. For chess, it was silver, of course, 1, and bronze 2. Not forgetting swimming. Nigeria had only 1 medal in swimming, and that came, at bronze. And judo, we also had a bronze medal in judo. Beach volleyball also gave us a bronze medal for Team Nigeria. All right, and wait to see, of course, how it goes. And just about on Monday, Nigeria Sports Minister Senator John Owaino, of course, visited a judoka who slumped at the ongoing African Games. Now, the athlete's name is Ibrahim Abdullahi. He suffered a tension pneumothorax, which triggered a cardiac arrest during his judo match at the 13th African Games in Ghana. At the time of visitation, the Minister of Sports did meet with the doctor in charge and also met with one of the athletes who also is a judoka to get a first-hand information of what happened at the time of the visitation. Dr. Ofe Labi is cardiothoracic surgeon, confirmed his fitness to be discharged from hospital, having spent about a week, and his post-discharge management. Let's hear from the Minister of Sport and, of course, the athletes.
Sake of the cardiac arrest, and the cause of it was what we call tension pneumothorax on the right side, and that triggered the cardiac arrest. He had an immediate intervention with the chest tube in. He was resuscitated aggressively, had a chest tube in, and he's doing very well. We are hoping to discharge him today. We recommend he goes by road for now, and then after a while, then he will be okay to go by air. Okay.
When his opponent tried to choke him, because in judo they used to choke people, on the norms he ought to tap, but he did not want to tap because he did not want to lose. That was why.
All right, thankful that the athlete is all right and well, and of course for the Minister of Sport showing concern about its athletes. That's of course the responsibility, having sent them out to represent Nigeria in Accra, Ghana. Now let's take a look at the African Games medals table. Let's see who still remains top. It's of course Egypt, coasting home to victory, 91 gold medal, 36 silver, and 31 bronze medal, a total of 156 medal. Nigeria is second with 27 gold, 21 silver, and 30 bronze. That's 78 medals in total. Now, the competition is not even between Egypt and Nigeria. At the moment, we have South Africa and Nigeria battling it all out, and so it probably will come down to the world of athletics, where Nigeria will be hoping to go past there in that particular one. So we're hoping to see how it goes. For Algeria, still in the mix. Tunisia is there. Ghana is also climbing up the ladder. They don't want to host and then, of course, not get to win the tournament or get to be in a very reasonable position. Mauritius, Eritrea, Morocco, and Madagascar. All right, interesting times for the athletes and, of course, the countries at the African Games. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking football. All right, welcome back. You're still watching In the Game. We've been talking about a lot of things that went down at the African Games from different sports, particularly the world of athletics. And right now, we'll be going straight to the world of football. Still on the African Games, but this time around, it's all about the women's football angle, where, of course, the Falconets, that's the under-20 women team of Nigeria and Accra Rivals Ghana, they emerged victorious in a thrilling set of women's semi-final clashes at the 13th edition of the African Games on Monday, setting the stage for an epic showdown in Thursday's football final. Now, Nigeria faced off against Uganda in a tightly contested affair. Both teams were evenly matched, with neither willing to concede ground. Now, the game remained deadlocked for much of the match until Nigeria broke the deadlock in the 74th minute through Judith Adaobi Oka. And with the clock ticking down, Chiamaka Okochukwu sealed Nigeria's victory with a late goal in the 89th minute, securing a 2-0 victory for the West African powerhouse. Meanwhile, in the second semi-final clash, Ghana defeated Senegal 3-1. And of course, Ghana, buoyed by home support, started brightly and took the lead in the 18th minute through Tracy Wom. The early goal set the tone for Ghana's dominance in the first half, and they doubled their lead just before the break with a goal from Opelia Afonsa in the 45th minute. Now, Senegal, however, refused to go down with a fight and pulled a goal back in the 53rd minute through Kande. The goal injected new life into the game as Senegal pushed for an equalizer, but of course, Ghana remained resolute, and Afonsa secured a brace in the 55th minute to restore Ghana's 2-goal advantage. Despite Senegal's best efforts, Ghana led 3-1 and, of course, claimed that victory and booked their place in the final. It should also be known that Nigeria, the defending champion of the African Games when it comes to the world of football, and they'll be hoping to retain their title in the women's category. Christopher Danjuma's led side, that's the coach of the team. He's doing a lot at the moment when it comes to football in Nigeria and beyond Nigeria. And we have some interesting players, in the team. Blessing Okpe is one of them. She's doing a lot for Rivers Angels, and she's also in that particular team, hoping and ready to go all ahead. And interestingly, we'll get to see how it goes and hopefully see the very best of football in Nigeria and, of course, in Ghana. Now, we have, of course, joining us to talk about the match that went down yesterday, and having to see the very best of what happened in Accra, Ghana, is a sports journalist from Kogi, Nigeria. Wale Mustafa joins us this afternoon. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you, Wale. Welcome. Okay, I've been told by my producer that he will join us soon. But of course, the Nigerian girls will be looking forward to the final on Thursday. Home support versus a disciplined Christopher Danjuma side who are yet to taste defeat in the competition when it comes to football in the women's category. And before we are still talking women's football, let's quickly just let you know that we'll have some interesting fixtures to watch out for in the Nigeria Women Football League. That's, of course, in Nigeria, despite the fact that some players from the respective clubs in Nigeria are currently in Accra, Ghana, but the league has to continue, but it resumes today after a long break for the women's category. Let's take you, of course, to the table. Okay, we've been told that we have Wale Mustafa on the line. Wale Mustafa, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
All right, quick one. Nigeria are through to the finals of the African Games, the women's category. Christopher Danjuma's side look better every now and then, and the girls are not stopping. They want to go all the way to win the trophy for back-to-back.
No doubt about that. They look favorites for the gold medal of these all African Games. They've having a stellar performance all through the 3 matches they played, scoring 8 goals and conceded none. They also look convincing in the matches they play so far. I think they have a chance of winning, even though it's going to be a very difficult match against Ghana. But I think they have a chance of beating Ghana. All
right. What do you think has been working for the Nigerian squad? I mean, we've seen that they didn't really have a long time to prepare for this tournament, but irrespective of that, they were able to go all the way to get to the finals. What do you think has been working for Christopher Danjuma's tutor side? All right, we'll still wait and hope that he comes back. But of course, we'll be talking to Wale Mustafa on the game that went down on Monday involving Nigeria and Uganda. And don't forget, Nigeria will play the finals on Thursday against Ghana. That's a big one. Some people call it the Jollof Derby, involving two nations who, when it comes to social media, they know how to, band themselves. Some of them will drag themselves as per the food, some of them as per the footballing culture. And not forgetting what happened just the concluded Nations Cup, where Ghana were knocked out of the tournament, and it was a series of dragging from Nigerians, and then eventually Nigeria did not win the trophy, and they got their own fair share from the Ghanaians. Let's quickly take a look at the Nigeria Women Football League table. Fixtures ahead of today in different centers in Nigeria. We have the Group A and the Group B fixtures. The Nigeria Women Football League. We get to see Nigeria Rattles take on Dana's Ladies. Conference Queens right there in Lokoja will take on Adamawa Queens. Abia Angels will be up against Royal Queens. Heartland Queens will be up against Nasarawa Amazons. In Group B, we get to see Remo Stars Ladies take on Delta Queens. Ekiti Queens against Bayelsa Queens. And we get to see Sunshine Queens at home in Akure against FC Robo Queens. And Edo Queens will be up against Rivers Angels. That's a South derby right there in the Nigeria Women's Football League. It's match day 10 fixtures, and it promises to be exciting, of course, later this evening. Away from women football to men's football, the Super Eagles of Nigeria players have started arriving camp in Morocco ahead of the big friendly against the Black Stars of Ghana and against Mali. Now, 10 players have hit the camp of Nigeria Super Eagles in Morocco. And according to the Nigerian Football Federation on the social media platform, the arrivals include, of course, the likes of a goalkeeper sensation, Stanley Wabali. We have the likes of Calvin Bassi, Semi Ajayi, Bruno Yemechi, and Jamilu Collins. Other midfielders, Alex Iwobi, Fisayo Bashiru, and attackers, Siri Desas, Moses Simon, and, of course, Nathaniel Teller. And then, of course, on your screens, Siri Desas, Nathan Taylor, Simon Moses, Wambali Stanley, Fisayo Bashiru, Calvin Bassi. It will be Alex, Semi Ajayi, Jamilu Collins, and Bruno Oyemechi. According to reports, more players are expected to arrive the Eagles camp preparatory to the two friendlies. Interim coach and ex-international Finidi George has been tasked with the responsibility of tinkering with the team after former manager Jose Peseiro failed to reach an agreement with the NFF on extension. Nigeria will play Black Stars of Ghana on the 22nd of March and Les Aigles of Mali 4 days later, all of them in the Moroccan city of Marrakesh. Interesting one ahead for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. This is their first game after the Nations Cup task. Of course, they finished second right there in Cote d'Ivoire. Some of the players have been will not be in this squad. The likes of Victor Osimhen has pulled out of this game. Not also forgetting the likes of Tyron Eboué. He would also be part of this game. So it's going to be interesting to see that Nigeria will play Ghana after losing out to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar that involved Nigeria and Ghana. Nigeria drew the first leg in Kumasi. And the second leg also, he ended in a loss, of course, as a draw rather, but of course a score draw that ensured that Nigeria did not make it to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Let's see how it goes for Finidi George. Don't forget, Finidi George is in the mix, but we hear that, of course, a coach will be announced in the coming days. And we also hear that one of the aspirants for the Super Eagles job, Michael Essien, is in Morocco and will be watching the game come this week. Interesting times ahead for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Away from the Super Eagles, let's touch now to Ugandan Cranes. They also have their own friendlies lined up, and they are currently training in Morocco. They've had their first training session in Morocco as Uganda are preparing for their friendly game against Ghana and Comoros. Now, coach of the side, Paul Put, has been talking about the players. He has been talking about his squad ahead of the friendly match, and is looking forward to have the very best of his squad against Ghana and Comoros. Let's get to hear from Coach Paul Put.
Of new players, so you can see that you're not used to play to each other. Of course, it's the first training session. I think they were concentrated, but I think also they were a little bit tired at the end, because what I want to see is the players that I'm used to seeing in Uganda. We've been playing Somalia, Guinea, and Kuwait. I talked.
All right, so wait to see what happens for Uganda Cranes. They are also daring to dream and preparing for the qualifiers, Nations Cup qualifiers. World Cup also is around the corner, and we're all looking forward to go to the World Cup in 2026, which of course will be hosted by 3 countries, Canada, Mexico, and the United States of America. Away from there now to the Ghana Premier League, where 10-man Hearts of Oak has staged a remarkable comeback, of course, to see of newcomers Hearts of Lion in the Ghana Premier League on Monday night. The game ended 2-1 at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi.
Here comes Cisse, rounds up the keeper. Kanazabok's call Linda. It's the fire Kubu. Janine Watson was watching and calling. Hearts of Lions still don't know who to take this free kick eventually. It will be the striker Mustafa Yakubu, and he scored. Hearts of Lions have scored in the last minute of stoppage time. They are down by 1 against Hearts of Lions. Let's see what happens. Kakari's ball in, and it's an equalizer. Salim Adams have drawn level. Kosa. There's a yellow card. He reaches his back pocket and there's a red card. Dennis Kosa has been red carded. Cisse is up against Arban. Cisse wants to use his strength to advantage. Arban has got the experience. Cisse cuts it back for Salim, and Salim shoots. It takes a deflection, and Al-Sadok have the second goal. The Phobians have the second goal.
Well, we did all we could, but the result is not favorable for me at all. You know, we could have taken our chances during the first half, but the second half, it's okay. It's okay. We take it like that.
Yes,
that is what exactly we are doing. We want to make sure we lift them from where they are, and we are working. Maybe it will come next.
It's just for the discipline, tactical discipline. The first half is very difficult for us, but the second half, I tell them, we can't lose this match. It's not possible. Sometimes I'm listening for the journalists. I'll take my decisions because the criticize is good for me. I need more criticize to change. That's the why I put this boy today on the front.
All right, beautiful one for the team. You know, despite reducing them to 10 men, they were able to go all the way to win that particular one. Out of Oaks defeated Hearts of Lion 2-1 in the Ghana Premier League. We get to see some fixtures today in the Ghanaian Premier League. Let's quickly let you know that Accra Lions will take on Great Olympics. All right, that's the only fixture actually for today. Away from there now to the Algerian League On, where NC Magra will take on CR Belouizdad, and USM Alger will be up against Eton Setif of Algeria. That's interesting fixtures to watch out for in the Algerian League. All right, now to Europe, still talking football, but we have to shift our attention to talk about the story that broke in aspect of racism, where Inter Milan defender Francesco Acerbi has been sent home from the Italy's national team training camp following an allegation that he racially abused Napoli counterpart Juan Jesus in Sunday's Serie A match. Now, Juan Jesus, who is black, was visibly upset in the second half when he walked up to the referee, who then called over Acerbi. Now, in television images, Juan Jesus seemed to be telling the referee Acerbi has used a racist slur. Now, Juan Jesus was also pointing at his shirt sleeve, which had a Keep Racism Out badge as part of the league's anti-racism campaign. Now, a sad one for a player to face, or for anyone to face in any part of the world. I mean, over times we've gotten to see how FIFA, UEFA, and different bodies in the world have clamped down on racism, and it seemed the measures put in place are not enough, as we've gotten to see more and more of this happen. Just about some months ago, we also saw racist chants directed to Vinicius Jr. in Spain. Not just him alone, we've had series of players involved in that particular manner or tag. And this time around, Acerbi has been told to leave the Italy national team's camp, following, of course, what happened over the weekend that has to do with Italian Serie A. No to racism, not anytime, not any day. And of course, that's what we are also preaching right here. And now to the NBA basketball. Interesting one for Brunson, as of course he scored 34 points to lead the New York Knicks past the Golden State Warriors. Interesting one. As New York Knicks, they are looking forward to do all the way and ensure that they have the very best of points. You can see that Golden State Warriors have been struggling this season when it comes to the world of basketball. Away from there, we also have a player, White. Of course, he got his first career triple-double in Celtics win over Detroit Pistons. I mean, Boston Celtics doing a lot. Since the exodus of their coach, Ime, they've also continued to move all the way to get the better of these teams. And for Detroit Pistons, they will hope to come back to winning way. But good one for Celtics, especially for White, who got his first career triple. And Boston Celtics going all the way in the ladder when it comes to the world of the NBA. Still talking the NBA, LeBron James scored 25 points, 10 assists to lead the LA Lakers past Atlanta Hawks. Now, LeBron James is not getting old at all. He still has it up his sleeves. One of the most exciting players when you want to talk about the world of basketball in the world. He was instrumental for his side, LA Lakers, to go all the way and ensuring that they get a win over the Atlanta Hawks. And now Edwards also was in action, as of course he also got 32 points to lead Wolves at Minnesota Timberwolves to win at Utah, and that's a big one for Edwards. Doing a lot for his team, also ensuring that his team got the better of Utah Jazz in that particular one. Let's quickly now go straight to the results from last night and the early hours of today. Cleveland Cavaliers got the better of Indiana Pacers, 108 to 103 points. Boston Celtics won against Detroit Pistons, 119 to 94 points. Philadelphia 76ers won against Miami Heat. The Heat could not get to 76ers as they won that game 98 to 91 points. Chicago Bulls won against Portland Trail Blazers, 110 to 107 points. And Minnesota Timberwolves got the better of Utah Jazz, 114 points to 104 points. New York Knicks were better off against Golden State Warriors, 119 points to 112 points. Sacramento Kings ensured they got the win against Memphis Grizzlies, 121 points to 111 points. And LA Lakers trashed Atlanta Hawks, 136 to 105 points. Interesting one result from the NBA. And it gets interesting, it gets exciting, especially for basketball fans when it comes to the world of basketball. It's been, of course, an amazing and interesting time on the show today with lots of sporting actions for you. And don't forget, of course, you can join us same time, same station, of course, tomorrow for another exciting time in the world of sports. My name is Favor Itwa. You have a lovely day ahead.